Ryan Reynolds is losing it over this latest Taylor Swift news.
That's why we match so well.
We're about to do a podcast.
Ryan Reynolds, an hour after Taylor Swift had her announcement.
The cameras were rolling, the crowd was electric, and Ryan Reynolds had his moment lined up perfectly. But in the blink of an eye, Taylor Swift's subtle move flipped the script. To most people, it was nothing. To longtime fans, it was everything. We're going back through the footage, the post-event interviews, and the tweets that lit up the internet that night. Piece by piece, you'll see how Taylor confirmed, without ever saying a word, that Ryan's big plan had gone sideways.
Ryler Swift? I don't know. I just want to own this. The AI image spit out a Ryler Swift shirt, and now I'm loving it. Who is Ryler
It's
Swift?
Grok's fan fiction. I love it. I love it.
It's some character that's going to be thanked in the end of one of Ryan's credit movies, I'm sure, or somebody's
the
movies.
expanded
Justin's
universe.
Yes, yeah. We're creating new characters here. But for real, Taylor Swift is all over the news today, guys. She announced a new album, her 12th album after a midnight countdown, her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, in a clip with Travis Kelce. Here it was.
Green with TS on it?
Yep.
What's in it?
This is my brand new album, The Life of a Showgirl.
TS 12!
Yeah.
So there it is, the new heights. Look, I got to give her Taylor Swift credit. Like, we all know she's a marketing genius, the way she's doing things. But now she's like, yeah, let's monetize my man's show on YouTube and everywhere else so I can get him some serious views and get him to get some more. And we'll make the announcement there to be able to team up with him and actually do this that way. Keep it in the family and clearly showing how cute they are together. But anyway, moving forward, she's been teasing this for a while. All the Taylor Swifts are Swifties losing their minds because she ended the whole concert with See Next Era and these orange looks. And that is now the new look of what things are going to be. She teased her new era in the book. There's like a whole bunch of Easter eggs. If you go to page 12, you can see it there. So kudos to her. She's playing, a million moves ahead. She always is. That's
why we match so well.
We're about to do a podcast.
Can I just say, I find them actually kind of cute together?
It started with a small movement most people wouldn't even register. Ryan Reynolds edging closer to the mic as cameras swept across the red carpet. The flashbulbs were constant, the crowd pressed in, and every inch of the carpet was being recorded from multiple angles. This wasn't just another night out for celebrities. It was one of those high-stakes industry events where every outfit, every glance, every quote could dominate headlines for days. The guest list read like a studio dream. Oscar winners, chart toppers, streaming giants all in the same room. Thousands of live stream watchers commented in real time, grabbing screenshots that would race across Twitter and Instagram within seconds. Ryan knew the setup. He knew the stakes. And when the camera team swung toward an interview spot just a few feet from him, he didn't just stand there. He leaned forward, just enough to be in frame, and started speaking over a nearby exchange. According to a few people hovering near the press area, that move wasn't accidental. Whispers started almost immediately that his publicist had been pointing out exact camera positions earlier in the evening. In Hollywood, that's a known play, sliding into someone else's shot, dropping a quick line, getting an unscripted laugh, so the moment lands on talk shows and social feeds. It's worked before for plenty of big names. The twist here: the person Ryan happened to be moving in on wasn't just any A-lister. Taylor Swift was already on site, wearing an understated look that somehow made the online crowd buzz even harder. She was in mid-conversation with a journalist when Ryan shifted in, and you could almost see the recognition in some nearby faces. One red carpet commentator posted later, "Bold move. Wonder if it lands." When the broadcast replay hit, the angles told the story more clearly. From one shot, it just looked like a casual overlap. But zoomed out, you could see Ryan adjust his stance, step half a foot forward, and align squarely with the lens. It was smooth. It earned him a burst of social media chatter. From a surface view, mission accomplished. But here's the part you could miss if you weren't paying attention. Taylor didn't break her flow. She didn't shift toward him. She didn't glance away from her interviewer. That composure, that unfazed steadiness would prove to be the first crack in his grab for attention. Because while Ryan's name trended briefly that night, the real shift in momentum happened minutes later, when the spotlight he'd angled for started sliding somewhere else entirely.
We're both Swifties, and I do believe she was used by Blake, and I still stand there. But here's where things get interesting, and shout out to Ashley, Brianna, Eve.
Thunder. Okay, guys, we will deal with my views as someone who's been in the marketing, branding, and PR field for 15 years. My views on how I genuinely think that her and her team dropped the ball on the hype ramp they built with.
I will fight you on to the death on that one, Ashley. But I look forward to that. Come on and let's argue that later. But
Building up to this big reveal on who would be on
like in a fun way,
podcast on Wednesday. But
pop culture fight.
That's neither here nor there for this reel. I want to talk about how Ryan Reynolds, an hour after Taylor Swift had her announcement, makes a post on Instagram for the new Avengers movie.
Crazy.
Yeah. Now I gotta be careful because she's playing Taylor Swift music, so it's hard to play. But go check out her and support. But she did catch this. I saw this first in her feed because I wasn't watching Ryan's feed. But yeah, literally, what was it, like an hour after?
Yeah.
Like in the middle of the night at like 1 a.m. Typically I would say, oh no, this is silly. Why this has no connection. Literally, how are you up that late? And you're Taylor Swift's the godmother of your kids. You're going through an immense weird beef. You're supposed to be supporting each other still, right? According to Blake. And you're not paying attention and you decide to drop an Avengers logo, which is like, not to be fair, this was a logo from Deadpool Wolverine, which was like the like Anarchy Avengers in the movie, like these sort of leftovers. We sort of know what this means, which was really nothing. That doesn't mean he's not trying to use it again, because I think they didn't use this enough. This was a cool logo and an idea that really wasn't exploited because there wasn't an Avengers in the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Is this now, but what, by doing this, he's now created all these articles. Oh, a new, my God, so many ads. A new Deadpool appearance in Avengers films. He couldn't resist, Kim. He couldn't resist. An hour after this big Taylor Swift news, which is literally everybody's on the line was staying up to sort of figure out what the news was going to be. And he had to sort of one-up it with this stupid Avengers logo. At least wait till the morning. Let Taylor have her night and let that fly. But the fact that we're supposed to believe he didn't see her do a big announcement and then he couldn't resist in the middle of the night, which he hasn't posted in weeks. That's what's so crazy. It's like he chose that time. I don't know why it's not loading. He chose that time to post that. It was so strange to me, Kim. Do you agree with Ashley and everybody else that this was the timing of this? A week ago. It was a week ago he posted this one. And then 3 weeks ago. He doesn't post that regularly to his feed. Did you find this timing strange as well?
She didn't say a word. She didn't need to. The moment Ryan edged in and cut across her camera angle, Taylor's entire response came through a tiny shift in her expression. Quick enough to miss if you were looking at the wrong part of the frame, but once you saw it, you couldn't unsee it. Her eyes flickered for half a second, her smile changed by the smallest degree, and then she carried on like nothing had happened. In the footage, it's crystal clear. Ryan leans forward, his voice slipping into the airspace of her red carpet chat. Taylor's still mid-answer to a question about her current project. She doesn't glance toward him. Not once. Instead, her posture straightens by a hair, both shoulders set evenly toward the interviewer, and her voice holds an even tone. It's the kind of locked-in focus that reads as polite, but also as pure, controlled territory marking. When you slow that clip down, frame by frame, you see the sequence. Step 1. The blink is slightly longer than usual. Step 2. The mouth corners tighten just before her next sentence. Step 3. The smile returns, but it's not the same smile as before. Micro-expressions like that are well studied in psychology. They're the body's split-second tells, hinting that you've noticed a break in etiquette or a subtle threat to your space. Online, the breakdowns came fast. One TikTok stitched the clip with stills highlighting each micro-movement, overlaying text like "she clocked it." A Twitter thread called it "the Swift side-eye without side-eye," and hundreds of replies chimed in with freeze frames and zoomed images. Fans weren't just noticing the gesture, they were connecting it to other times Taylor's used small, surgical reactions to send a message without speaking. Award show cutaways, backstage moments, even music video Easter eggs. Her audience knows she plays a long game. What's wild is how little mainstream coverage that reaction got at first. The morning after, entertainment pieces either ran Taylor's interview, pull quotes, or wide shots of her look. Ryan's crossover into her frame, barely mentioned. In broadcast loops, the editors often skipped it entirely, moving from her soundbite straight to the next celebrity arrival. Online, though, it was a different story. By late afternoon, she knows trended in tandem with the fan edits. That tiny facial adjustment turned into a private wink between her and her base. It was proof she'd noticed the move, decided not to engage, and kept the ground she was standing on. If Ryan hoped the moment would rattle her or shift attention his way, there was zero visible confirmation from her. But the real response, the one he couldn't have expected, was already taking shape in the days that followed.
Incredibly. I think the other thing that I found really weird about it, and it's part of why I put the Rolling Stone article in the doc, is just that earlier this year, Reynolds shot down speculation that Deadpool would be a part of the next Avengers film, which a lot of people are assuming that that's what this message is, that it has something to do, I believe, with, is it Doomsday they're calling it, the one that's coming out?
Yeah, the new Avengers Doomsday, Dr. Doom,
Yeah. Yeah. So he said if Deadpool becomes an Avenger or an X-Men, we're at the end. The actor told Time. That's wish fulfillment. And you can't give him that. So, like, okay, so what does that mean?
It means he's trolling. That's what's even more annoying. Like, this is not going to be an Avengers team up. He's just posting, exactly, such a tease. He's posting another image that was teased previously before Deadpool Wolverine to imply the Avengers were going to be in his movie. But yeah, if you actually do the homework, you know he doesn't want to be an Avengers team up right away because that would sort of defeat the purpose of this character's journey. Which also, interestingly enough, since we're calling out Ryan, we didn't really, I actually do, I'm going rogue and pulling up one more clip because here's what's interesting about this. Ryan Reynolds keeps doing this.
What's up with Deadpool 3?
Very diplomatic about what I say here.
Now, she's talking about Deadpool 2 and Deadpool 3. She overall speaks very positively, says, oh, it was so nice to hang out with everybody. But she makes a really interesting point at the end. If you've seen the Deadpool films, both 2 and 3 kind of shrug her off in the very beginning of the movie, and then the whole movie becomes about Ryan winning her back, and it's his arc. And they never give the female lead, who was very instrumental in a good part of the first movie, like any arc, character arc, or place to go.
I think it's really unfortunate that, once again, the female character that is in the beginning of the story so much a part of the story then gets sort of like put as like the
secondary,
the crux of it, the reason, the emotional arc, but not, doesn't have the screen time or the journey, the satisfying journey,
Right. Do you think they'll do another one?
She says, I don't know, but she's very diplomatic, very intelligent. I really appreciate actually her whole interview. I watched a lot of this, but she's being very fair, Kim, and like not calling out Ryan specifically or anybody, but that's Ryan's job. He's the writer, producer of the film. And now for 2 films, he's sort of pushed the female aside. My point in bringing this up, he's a tease. I'm frustrated with him. He's very egocentric. The more I learn about this, the more I get frustrated by it all. And I just found this move to be so desperate and petty. Like he's forever online and he couldn't pay attention to see there was literally a countdown, Kim.
Could timing ever line up this perfectly, or was it too on the nose to be random? Just a few days after that red carpet exchange, Taylor rolled out a brand new album. Not a single, not a teaser, an entire project that hit streaming platforms and physical shelves at the exact same time. The impact was instant. Pre-orders had been stacking quietly for weeks, and within hours of release, charts that had sat steady suddenly flipped. Every major platform showed the same trend. Taylor at number 1, and everything else scrambling for space beneath her. Streaming counts jumped faster than trackers could refresh. By the end of the first 24 hours, the album had already crossed milestones many artists take months to reach. Stores reported selling out of vinyl variants before most people had even had breakfast, and social feeds filled with unboxing videos, lyric theories, and fan reaction clips. Newsrooms that had been covering red carpet fashion were now rewriting their homepages to keep up with the numbers rolling in. Behind the curtain, there was quiet chatter about Ryan's team having a post-event plan ready to go. The idea, according to someone who claimed to be in the loop, was to ride the wave of his red carpet moment with back-to-back media drops, interviews, online exclusives, maybe even a viral stunt or two. That plan didn't just stall, it vanished. Entertainment pages that might have featured his quotes were suddenly crowded out by Taylor's streaming records, critics' takes on her new sound, and video thumbnails breaking down hidden meanings in her lyrics. If you counted the headlines over that week, the gap was almost comical. Ryan's name showed up a handful of times, mostly buried in group captions or wide shots. Taylor's name? Everywhere. In music sections, lifestyle features, even finance pages tracking the economic ripple of her release. An entertainment writer remarked on her gravity and culture, saying that even unrelated stories get pulled into her orbit once she makes a move. The frenzy didn't just overshadow the red carpet moment, it erased it. For anyone not watching the event live, there was no trace of the attempted spotlight shift. By the time weekend talk shows rolled footage, the only relevant clip was her walking past cameras on album release day, met with screams from fans holding signs for her new songs. Ryan's window closed before it even opened. His moment wasn't stolen in a direct face-off. It was drowned under something bigger, faster, and unbeatable. And in Hollywood, that kind of vanishing act doesn't just get noticed. It gets remembered as a warning.
Lawsuit hit, and there was a lot of public interest, and people were talking about it, and people were speculating, and that's what happened. So it's interesting to see. Also, the Hollywood Reporter article was wild. That one I remember. I think we all kind of just stopped and went, "Holy smokes!"
Yeah, and Zach was the one who sort of caught that they were changing the headlines and stuff, which was a good catch on his part. They called out Melanie. They called out Ellsrich. Leanne, I think, got a couple shouts. So anyway, we're going to go through some of these in the live feed and shout out to citizen journalists who actually threaded them all in a place so we can spotlight and call out some of these other creators that were getting attention at the time. But yeah, again, more proof, as we also just talked to Ron in these earlier videos, which I hope you check out, more proof that there is no proof of a smear, but rather an organic, actual realization from the public that something here isn't right. So Blake, good luck. And Ryan, you can keep all the distractions you want, but we're not buying it. And I'm very excited for Taylor's new album. And man, I hope there are some subtle references to Blake Lively. We shall see. What do you guys think? Or you think she's going to call her out directly? Do you think she's not? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Well, that was an interesting show. While we were live, we got the response to my motion to squash from Blake Lively. And oh my goodness, is this crazy? We're going to give you a proper, more response tomorrow to go through it. But if you want to see my live reaction, you can. Needless to say, she's fighting back, and it's pretty desperate. Very desperate, filled with stuff that's just untrue.
Someone close to the press line swears they overheard it. A low exchange between Ryan and his publicist, just minutes before the cameras swung in their direction. It wasn't a long chat, more like a quick checklist. Position, timing. Who else would be speaking? To anyone else, it might have sounded like harmless prep. But to someone in the industry, it was obvious. This was a setup for a moment. That's the thing most people outside Hollywood don't realize. Publicists aren't just there to handle bad press, book interviews, and arrange photo ops. They're often the architects of exactly how a client appears in front of the world, down to which second they step into a frame. A well-placed smile, a comment off mic, a shared laugh with another star. These are manufactured beats designed to trend. The risk? The audience can smell it when it's not organic. And if the stunt falls flat, it doesn't just disappear. It lingers, like a reminder that someone tried too hard. One source claims the entire idea was about using the unpredictability of live coverage to snag extra visibility without looking like he wanted it too much. Ironically, in execution, it may have had the opposite effect. Hollywood history is littered with similar tries. A late-night show guest spontaneously interrupting another's segment. A celebrity randomly caught on kiss cam with a co-star during promo season. Decades of orchestrated moments, some stick, most sink. Those that sink usually have one thing in common. They feel staged. Watching Ryan's attempt in the wider context, it fit into that same mold. Columns were already being positioned about his quick quip, his energy on the carpet, his easy charm sliding into someone else's spotlight. But a gossip writer who was there called it too obvious, saying it didn't have the effortless gloss needed for the audience to buy in. Then came what some insiders read as another twist. Blake Lively, the day after the event, posted a relaxed snapshot on Instagram. No subtle nod to the carpet, no hint of glam. Just a throwback-style image unrelated to anything that had happened the night before. In PR terms, that's a loud choice. It redirects attention away from any lingering chatter and plants a different image entirely in the public mind. People inside their circle didn't miss it. More than one person described that post as a quiet signal of distance. Not throwing shade, not overtly taking sides, just creating space between herself and the move that failed to land. While that might have softened the conversation, it wasn't strong enough to shift the momentum back, because the machine driving Taylor's cultural takeover was already too far ahead to stop. If the media didn't pick it up, did it even happen? That was the question floating among industry watchers the morning after the event. The front pages were covered in one familiar face, but it wasn't Ryan Reynolds. Every trending hashtag, every entertainment reel, every splash image on news apps showed Taylor, smiling, holding her album, standing in front of swarms of screaming fans. Look at the coverage side by side and it's almost jarring. One outlet ran a homepage carousel with 3 different Taylor-related headlines stacked on top of each other. Album sales, fan theories, and a review calling her latest work a game changer. Ryan's appearance? Buried in a general red carpet roundup halfway down the scroll, paired with 2 sentences about what he was wearing. On television, morning entertainment segments looped Taylor's album release footage, cut with fan interviews and chart count updates. Not once did they replay the red carpet frame where Ryan tried to slide into view. Social media numbers told the same story. Taylor's engagement spike was massive. Millions of likes on her release post within hours. TikToks using her songs flooding the For You page. Her hashtags reaching global trending status and holding there for days. Ryan's online activity during that same window? Flat. A few reposts from fan accounts, a sprinkle of likes, but no momentum. By digital metrics, his move barely rippled the surface. An industry insider explained that media gatekeepers focus on what holds audience attention, not what simply exists. That means when one story catches fire organically, it gets amplified endlessly. And authenticity is the secret currency. Audiences can feel when something's real versus when it's positioned. Taylor's release wasn't just content, it was a cultural event people were invested in before it happened. Ryan's camera crossover didn't carry that same built-in pull. Even outlets that have historically boosted Ryan barely touched it. One entertainment site known for featuring him in lifestyle pieces still led with 5 Taylor headlines in a row. Another, which ran a full red carpet photo gallery, cut the set before his appearance entirely. An edit that didn't go unnoticed by people in his camp. The absence was unmistakable. And that's the quiet confirmation. Without sending a press blast, without acknowledging the red carpet moment, Taylor's presence, and her timing, made his move irrelevant overnight. The machine of coverage simply went around him. Which leaves one final question: did Ryan misjudge what he was up against, or was there never a chance at all? Taylor didn't need to block a camera or fire back in an interview. She let the noise fade on its own while her work dominated every space it touched. That's the real power, making competition irrelevant without lifting a finger. In a place where every move is calculated for maximum volume, she proved silence can outweigh the loudest stunt. When presence alone commands headlines, you don't fight for attention, you define it. Maybe it's time to look twice at those spontaneous celebrity moments. Ask yourself, are they genuine or just another play in a game Taylor refuses to even join?